Hello, everybody. Welcome to Off the Cup with Hoppy and Hobbs, episode 35, March 2021, St. Patrick's Day special edition.
Nice.
My name is Hobbs. I'm wearing the black shirt with the stripes and the brown and yellow hat. Hoppy, I'm not sure what color stuff he's wearing.
I'm wearing Padre Brown.
Padre
Padre
Brown.
Brown. Yeah, official. With
And
the spring training Padre lid.
Yeah, and if he moves a little bit to the side, you can see his poster of Babe Ruth in the background. He's
Okay.
a big Red Sox fan.
Don't forget that one right there. Autograph, Kevin Costner, full Durham jersey.
All right.
Father's Day. It was a Father's Day gift to myself.
Well, congratulations. At least I'm hanging out in Yankee Stadium.
Oh,
You're hanging out with Bull Durham jersey.
And I'm hanging out with the guy that caused the curse there.
Yeah. So quick off the cup question.
Yes. Ready.
Will Dinelson Lamet pitch in spring training?
Yes.
I was gonna say, I think I stumped you.
Yes. I had to think. I'm like, okay, are they just gonna backfield him until it's starting to go? No, I think he'll start making some starts. He'll go one inning and just get out there, and then I think they're going to treat him more of a reliever. And then during the season, that's going to be bullpen day. They're going to run him out there for 3, and then run him out there for 4. They're definitely not going to push him early. They got there's so much pitching depth, but there's no reason to rush him back.
Yeah, they're taking it really, really slow for a guy that said he was ready to go. They're taking it really, really slow.
Extremely. And, it's either that or you let him run out there and snap and then have him get surgery, see you next year. So
yeah, but it's going to happen no matter what. So, I mean, he's either going to get hurt or he's not. So, whatever.
Yeah, that's true. But I think you see this with a lot of pitchers right now. I mean, there's a bunch of guys getting hurt. This is one of the side effects that we talked about with that 60-game rush from last year was guys' own programs are completely thrown off. And I don't care if you say, hey, we're going to ramp up and do this. They ramped up and then stopped again and then had to wait for them to say, hey, we're going to start up again. Okay, now I got to ramp up again. You're seeing the effects now. And, Clevenger, same thing. Lamet, same thing. And it's like that with a bunch of clubs. But, him not needing surgery, who knows if it's a twinge or a strain or whatever, but hopefully it's workouts and they're going to baby it right now. And, you hope you have them for the full season.
Yep.
That's the hope.
That's a great answer to the off the cup question. Hoppy didn't even know it was coming. I just hit him with it. And that's what he can come up with. So on today's podcast, which you are going to like, share, and subscribe because you love it so much and you want so many people to talk to about it. Mm-hmm. We're going to talk about the transactions of the Padres today. They cut their team down quite a bit in spring training. Mm-hmm. We're going to talk a little bit about some of those players, specifically around second base and the outfield. We're going to dig into some rule changes in the minor leagues that are rather interesting. And then Hoppy wants to talk about some superstitions.
Yes.
And then we're going to hit up social media and see what all of our fans' superstitions are related to baseball.
Right.
So it's going to be a fun week in Off the Cupville.
Yeah. And, there's so much stuff going on. I mean, before you know it, it's going to be day, and I've been saving up my $2,000.
2 weeks. You need $4,000. The last time
$4,000 to go see a game.
Last time. So, well, it's only going to get worse because I don't know if you know this, but if you don't have season ticket deposit down, you can't even buy a ticket to a game this year.
Brutal.
I think they're just trying to keep the Dodger fans out of the stadium because
that's legit. That's a legit reason, and I'm okay. I'm okay with that because this team does need support, and that series it's like the World Series inside the World Series.
Yeah, so the Dodgers fans are going to drop their $4,000 to come to watch one game. So
Go for it.
if the Dodgers fans are dropping $12,000 to Padre fans to come watch a game, I think that's okay for a series.
Yeah, go for it. Okay.
All right, so transactions today. Padres made 25 roster moves today.
A lot of moves.
A lot of moves. So first off, they optioned Mason Thompson to AAA and Jordan Humphreys and Reggie Lawson to AA. So those are the first three transactions. Then they assigned some players to minor league camp. I'm not going to go through all of them, but I'm going to name off a few. Pedro Vila, Robert Hassel III. They sent back to minor league camp.
Mhm.
Jagger Haynes went to minor league camp. Patrick Kiblahan, who's been playing a lot lately, he was sent to minor league camp. Justin Lang, um, Jake, Jacob Nix was sent to minor league camp. Uh, Guy Rosario, and a couple other guys were sent to minor league camp. But what's most interesting about the 25 moves they made, right? So they have 52 players left in camp. How many pitchers do you think they have?
40.
Pretty close. Uh, four, and they have four catchers. I'm going to give you that one.
Mhm.
How many outfielders do you think they have in camp left?
7.
No, this
4.
is five. They
5.
have they've got 31 pitchers left, which makes sense because they don't want to roll
Right.
out any pitchers. You know, they're going to
Mhm.
use as many as they can for spring training. Four catchers, 12 infielders, and five outfielders.
Wow.
Now, this rolls into something we want to talk about, which is the battle for second base.
Mhm.
And it seems like every second baseman that the Padres have can play outfield and multiple positions. So
Right.
when you just today, the Padres manager was discussing Tucupita Marcano. They were asking him why is he still in camp? You know, he's a young guy. He's like, well, he plays seven positions. He,
Right.
he can play every infield and outfield
Right.
position, and he's raking. I don't know if you've seen his at bats, but
Right.
holy smokes!
Well, here's what's interesting. As much as the game is evolving, it's also going back a little bit. The value of a quote unquote utility player. I mean, I my career was based off that. I played 7 years, not because I was a starter. I played short. I played third, second, corner outfield. I could catch, and I was a pitcher. And I had a lot of value to a 25-man roster. When you've got multiple guys that can do that, oh my goodness, your bench it just gets tougher and tougher. We talked about that previous. If your bench is a liability, then you don't have a good ball club. If you can make moves, which the Padres can, I mean, that just makes your ball club tougher.
Yeah, I think the things that they probably didn't expect the spring training were Marcano and Abrams to make a push to make the team. Like they
Mhm.
they both could be starters. Cronenworth is raking too. I saw him take a changeup tonight, down and in from Hendricks from the Cubs, and hit a triple one hopping the wall in right center
Mhm.
in a spring training park, which are gigantic,
Right.
right? And
No, I
and
am I am really, really impressed with Abrams. I
yeah,
mean, he he's if you didn't sign Kim, I think Abram makes a ball club. I mean, legitimately. I mean, Abrams went Oppo Jack. Was it yesterday?
Slam
Oppo
Diego,
Jack.
baby, grand slam.
You know, and it's like this guy's supposed to still be a year or two away, and he's flat out playing. So I don't know if you're trying to get you have a trade chip. It's going to be Abrams for something big because that guy can play. He can
Yes,
play.
the thing the Padres have going right now is it looks like they have maybe 10 or 11 guys that could start
Mhm.
out of the
Easy.
eight positions
Well,
that they have.
name a guy that you wouldn't start.
Right, and that leads into the Tommy Pham conversation in left field, who's struggling a little bit in spring training, but spring training doesn't matter. I mean, it's for getting ready for
Mm.
the older guys. For the younger guys, it matters because they have to prove their worth. But these younger guys are proving their worth. I mean,
Yes, they are.
it's pretty impressive to watch. I mean, I saw Hassel taking a bat, and he looked a little overmatched on fastball. You know, he didn't look like he was ready, but he's really young. But
Mhm.
Marcano and Abrams look amazing to the detriment of Kim, who is struggling.
Yes. That's that's a move that I don't want to say question. Maybe this is how he is. Maybe he just needs to know, hey, I'm playing and I go out and I rake. I hit 300 and I hit jacks. Um, the good thing is, if Kim doesn't work out, you've got Cronenworth, you've got Profar. I mean, who knows? Does Mateo stay on?
Yeah,
Do
like
you do you bring up Abrams?
so just think about what you just said, right? You have Profar and Mateo, you have Cronenworth, you have Marcano and Abrams, who can all play left field and second base and shortstop and
Mhm,
third base.
mhm.
Like, if anybody gets injured, they're in kind of a good spot.
But yeah, I mean that depth. I mean, we say it over and over and over again with this ball club. Depth is what makes a ball club continue. If Machado goes out and you're having to bring up a journeyman, from AAA or a rookie who's never played, that's a hole not only in defense but in your lineup. If Machado wants to take a day off, okay, well, we can slide somebody over there. Problem, So it's um, having those pieces, man. But like the names we just called out, they could all start.
Right.
They could all start.
Which doesn't bode well for Abrams and Tucapito Marcano. What I get his name wrong, because both of them, if they're not starting, they're in the minors, right? I mean,
Mm,
they can't be
Yeah,
bench players in the big leagues.
right, right. And it's one of those things where if the young guy is going to be up there, he's got to play. The young guy is not going to come up and sit on the bench. That's why you have veteran bench guys, because they get it and they can go out and perform. The rookie sits on the bench and he's going to go out there and he's going to fail. I mean, it's just been proven. Very rarely you see a rookie sit the bench and then come out and dominate. Um, but it truly it, I want to know what your lineup looked like opening day, and then what your lineup looked like day two, because it's probably going to be different. The matchups, whatever. But I mean, you have to assume Fam's in left, right? You got to put Kim's at second. I mean,
Kim's
you're
not
spending
playing.
money on those guys.
Kim's not playing second. Cronenworth's playing second.
All right, so where's Kim? 25 million,
Bench.
4 years.
Bench.
Okay, so you got $25 million bench guy.
Yeah, this is the
You
new
know,
Padres.
I mean, that's crazy to think about. Is we spent 25 million on a bench guy, a veteran bench guy, who's not really a veteran. He's
Same
a
same
rookie.
with Profar. Same with Profar. He's
Yeah,
a high dollar bench guy.
right. But he's also a chemistry guy, and I love that. I love that the Padres went. You know what? He is important to this ball club. If he wasn't here, it would be a different atmosphere. I think they learned a lot. Who's the big guy? Was it Reyes?
Yeah, they learned a
We
lot when they traded
I think
Reyes.
they learned a lot from that trade going, whoa, chemistry means something to this ball club. So as much as he was brought back on talent, I think he was also brought back for chemistry in that locker room, which is so important. It would have been totally different without him.
So, off the cup question for
Oh
Hopgood.
God,
For Hoppy.
God, another one.
Second one. Yeah, I know this is a rough day. At least I didn't cup check you. All right. Will
Hold on,
Cronenworth
hold on.
Will Cronenworth pitch this season?
Whoa, whoa, that is. Are you sure it's not a cup check? Because that's from Dale. Um,
Cup check's coming up
does
next.
does Cronenworth throw this year? Yes.
Well, he's not
Yeah, he
throwing.
does.
I don't think he's pitched in spring training.
It doesn't matter. He's on the backfield going, "Hey, check out the slider." He's doing it. He's doing it. I think so. Yeah, I think so. He'll blow in like 93, 94.
All right.
Yes. So the
All
answer
right.
is yes. Croner will pitch 2021.
Yeah. So the Padres roster is interesting, but something else happened that was announced this week, or at least I saw it announced this week. Major League Baseball essentially cup checked the minor leagues this week with new rules, and some
Whoa.
of them are insane. So I'm gonna start at AAA and work my way down.
Okay.
Starting in AAA, they are changing the size of the bases from 15 inches square to 18 inches square, hoping that that extra 3 inches will avoid collisions and we'll see more stolen bases because you're
That's what
6 inches closer.
that's what I see. Y- uh, I disagree. I disagree with this one. Okay, if you want to go with the bigger first base or a double first base at first base only, I'm okay. You start as an infielder, I know how big that base is. I live around that turn into or what, or if I'm running bases, you go and add an extra 3 inches around that sucker, you're gonna see dudes tripping. They're
Yeah.
gonna trip.
All right. So you try to turn a double play and just tap the back of the bag and you hit the middle and go face first into the dirt. Or a first
Something.
baseman that's going hard on a ground ball, like the third baseman made a diving play and you're deep and you're going to first base and you think you know where the base is, but you hit it early and you fall flat on your face. I can
Yeah,
totally
I'm
see it
telling you,
happening. It's going to
this
make a
is
huge difference.
I almost want to say, hey, this has to be an official stat. How many people trip around bases this year
Yeah.
compared to, whatever, guaranteed new league record this year?
Yeah. How many sprained ankles by pitchers doing PFPs and
Mhm.
runners that get to, I mean, 3 inches doesn't seem like a lot, but when you're running hard to first base and you're trying to stride through it, like the base is going to be there faster.
I, I
Like
just,
your strides are set to hit the front of the base, like at
they're gonna have to adjust the base pegs. They're gonna have to
right.
move the base pegs.
Yeah.
Oh, grounders are going timeout. Are you serious? This base peg's been here for 40 years. Now I got to dig it up and redo it and
Yeah.
move it an inch and a half. So you guys are happy.
You know what I do?
Put
Off-centered
it, put it. No,
pegs.
I just put it right in the dirt and say screw it.
No, off-centered pegs on the bottom of the bases so you don't have to move the holes.
Okay, it's still a. I disagree with this one. Bad.
Yeah.
Boo. Boo
Yeah.
baseball.
Cup check from Major League Baseball. All right.
Yeah.
Double A. 4 infielders in the dirt. Defenses will be required to have a minimum of 4 players standing with both feet on the infield dirt.
Wow. I
That
wonder if that's at like you're gonna see like motion guys. Is it when he starts his delivery, then I can run to a spot? Is it I have to because I played short and second. I would start, 3, 4 feet on the grass and then creep in so I would play deep. Um,
so this is getting rid of
maybe
those Manny style shifts where the third
right.
baseman or second
That's
baseman
that
is
that
30 feet
middle
in the
right
outfield.
fielder. Yeah, the
Mhm.
right fielder. Yeah. I I mean, I get it. If I'm a hitter, I like it. If I'm an infielder, maybe when the ball crosses the plate, I have to have 2 feet on the dirt.
Yeah, it doesn't say. I mean, I'd like to dig into this a little bit more, but also they're talking about maybe in the second half of the field requiring 2 infielders on each side of the field. So no shifting at all.
Well, you can shift.
Just not a 3 players on one side of the base, the second base.
Right. No, I don't think if you're going to go with you need 4 infielders, cleats on the dirt. I think you leave it at that. I mean,
Yeah,
if
they're
they
not
want,
going to
if they
shift it. They're not going to shift anyways, right? I mean,
no,
the whole point of the shift is to get the extra range, and if you're not getting the extra range, the shift doesn't help you. Like you might roll your shortstop within 5 feet of second base and roll your second baseman over,
right. Well,
but you're not gonna.
the old school shift, was the second baseman would slide over into the 3.5 hole, and the shortstop would be like a foot, or a step on the second base side, and then your third baseman would come and play the 5.5. Um, that was your shift. You would move over on a guy, move your second baseman up the middle, and your shortstop would go on, more towards the 5.5 hole, and your third baseman would play the line. But if you go two on each side, I don't know. That's just really restrictive. In
I,
my, I mean,
I agree. So here's my opinion: baseball is 9 players on the field. You play them wherever the hell you want them to play. And if you're stupid enough to hit it to them when they're playing 7 guys on the right side, then you should be punished.
Right. I agree. I mean, if David Ortiz bunts down the third baseline and gets a knock, that's on the coach for pulling the shift. You know, it's the same thing if he ropes one to the right center and gets a base hit. It's the same production. It's not flashy, but I mean, Ted Williams was the first one they really started to ever shift on, and they asked him how he felt. He goes, "I don't care where they play. I'll just hit it over their head." Oh, you know, I don't. I can see it from a defensive standpoint and offensive standpoint. I don't like it, but then again, I played in an era where shifts weren't big.
Yeah,
You know,
I just know that if you're a left-handed hitter and they're shifting on you and you want them to stop shifting, all you need to do is hit 2 base hits to left field and they'll stop shifting. Especially if it's in the 7th
yeah,
inning, of a game and you're the
yeah.
game-winning run. They'll stop shifting.
Well, and where are they going to throw you? They're going to throw you in
Right.
because they're playing you to hit it that way. So back off the plate.
Right.
And go center, left center.
Yep. On
Okay.
the just a weak ground ball for a double.
Yeah.
And they'll stop
Yeah.
shifting you.
Who was it? Cano? Cano did the bunt double against the Mariners. They did that. Bing, pushed it over there. Got a bunt double.
All right. So the next cup check by Major League Baseball and the Minor League Baseball rule change. Pitchers will be required to step off the rubber prior to throwing to any base. Failure to do so will be a balk, which means left-handed pitchers can no longer step to the base and pick off runners. They have to step off the mound first.
That's stupid. That is, I mean, did they only think about right-handers? And then when they got done, go, oh.
No, this is specifically
lefties.
targeting left-handed pitchers so more people can steal bases.
Bless America.
Now the other thing that happens here is the right-handers are going to have to step back off the mound. They're not going to be able to spin.
Right. Well, and that's the thing. Either because as a right hand, you have your pickoff move, then you got your blinker move. Your blinker move is I step off, I turn, and I throw. Hey, okay. And then your pickoff move is that little pivot and then snap it over there.
So that's gone. That's gone. The left-handed pickoff move is gone.
So you're going to just see nothing but snap throws from lefties.
So as soon as you see that front foot move before the back foot, you're gone.
You're gone.
That means lefties are going to have to start slide stepping, which is going to change the way the hitters hit the ball.
Hold on. Can you see my what are we doing in my look right now? This is now because we want more base runners, you're going to affect pitching mechanics for every left-hander that throws.
Just so you can get more stolen base attempts because it's more exciting.
If guys are fast, they steal. If guys are not fast, they don't steal.
All right. So I agree, but the biggest cup check of them all is in low A. And I'm praying that you did not read about this one.
What you got?
Pitchers will be limited to a total of 2 pickoff attempts or step-offs per plate appearance of a batter. If a third attempt is made, it's a balk as long as the runner makes it back to the base safely.
Win. Oh,
wow. God. Isn't that a wow? Now that is the ultimate cup check right there. Oh, you picked off the first base twice. Oh, by the way, I'm going and you can't stop me. I'm gonna steal second and third.
Huge lead.
I'm gonna steal second and third.
Okay, so all right. Here we go.
Well, if you don't get them out, if you don't get them out when you step off the third time, it's a balk. So if they break early, you step off and you get them out, they're out. But if you don't get them out when they break early and they just go back to the bag, it's a balk.
I don't get it. What are we doing? I'm almost speechless. Like, who said, "Hey, this is a good idea. Let's do it."
Can you imagine the new first and
No.
third plays? Like, okay, I'm on first base. I'm going to make you pick me twice, and then I'm going to leave early, and then my runner on third is going to score because you can't, or it's going to be second and third because you're not going to be willing to step off to try to get me out. Because if it's a balk, the run's going to score if you don't get me out.
Are we going to start holding runners on at third like we do at first? I mean,
could you imagine the implications like stealing home?
I, like, hold on.
So you're going to take a lot more risks on the bases, right? And because once they do those two pickoffs,
Can you imagine if this was the rule when Ricky Henderson and Tim Raines and Vince Coleman and all these guys were taking 100 bags a year anyway, and now you go, okay, after two, I can't pick.
well, that's the point. They want it to be back like that because now catchers are throwing 1-7s and pitchers are so quick to the plate that nobody can steal anymore. So they're like, okay, let's make it harder. And then it also says that they're considering limiting it to one pickoff attempt or step off per plate appearance.
Please stop. Whoever's doing these rules, just stop. This is ridiculous. This is like rec league. You're playing home rules. Okay, we're playing the park. You can only over twice. Come on, this is major leagues.
All right.
Hold on.
I'm telling you, man, that is the dumbest rule I've ever heard, and it would ruin the game. Like, just free box.
I'm literally amazed right now. Like, please tell me this is a joke, right?
I'm so glad you didn't read this.
Oh, we're just seeing what people think about it. No, if this is what they're gonna do, you think that's gonna speed up games?
Oh no, it's just
is that what to get more runners running?
Yeah, it's just to be more exciting. It's just to be more exciting, and that's it. Now you might see.
Is everyone gonna start cheering when they see the second pickoff going? Oh, I wonder if Hosmer's gonna steal now.
Now Franmil Reyes can steal second base. Jose Abreu, it's his time. It's Abreu's time.
No, we're gonna get Bartolo Colon to come off the and steal second.
So the goal would be to like get two pickoffs right on the before the first pitch, and then for the Padres to sub in CJ Abrams to run for Hosmer, so you can't throw him out. Because if they pick the first, it's a balk if he gets back, so he can just get a giant one-way lead, and basically when he realizes they're not picking, go, and they can't throw him out.
Hold on, let me make a note.
So that's going on in
is dumb.
That's going on in low A. So enjoy that. So they're testing that out. So the last two cup checks by Major League Baseball to the minor leagues aren't too bad. So they're going to try out robot umpires in the low A southeast for selected games for assisting the umpires. And in the low A west, they're going to be doing pitch clocks for time limits on pitches and breaks and pitching changes, which is no big deal. It is what it is. But
I'm okay. Now, 15 seconds. Pretty damn fast.
Yeah.
I mean, that's fast. Now the umpire assist, I'm okay with that, especially low A. Umpire's working his way up, and grade. Maybe it'll make better umpires.
I think the hard part is there are pitches that are real strikes that aren't called strikes in baseball.
Right.
So especially on curveballs that are breaking down, that are the catcher catches at his feet that are strikes at the front of the plate. I think when you start seeing those pitches called strikes because the computer's doing it, that's when you get that. That's where the spirit of the rule changes, right? You got a knee high, upper knee curved ball at the front of the plate that's going straight down and it drops at the back of the plate, or where the catcher sits, it's close to the ground, and that's generally called a ball. With the computer, that pitch could be called a strike, and that would be frustrating for players and fans.
Well, when you get kicked out because you're arguing balls and strikes, who do you yell at? Do you yell at the guy, the umpire, or the guy in the booth?
We're gonna be yelling at the robot.
Yeah.
But that's where the frustration is going to come, because even though the strike zone is what it is, in reality, everybody knows what the strike zone is, and it's, and they know how it's called. It's, even from umpire to umpire, it might vary a little bit, and you have a good idea what pitches are balls and strikes. When it becomes real, like the computer's calling balls and strikes, Tom Glavine doesn't have a career.
Correct. And that's the one thing I've always truly loved about the game is it was a human back there. There was that game inside the game. The catcher had to work the umpire. Hey, and then that pitcher had to prove, hey, I can hit this spot all day. And if you call it, we're going to get out of here quick, and I'm going to love you for it. If it's just going to be, some box that radars and that, it's the way that human element. I don't want a computerized game. If that's the case, then everybody should just like blow up like they did, and entertainment instead of the love of the game. You know, I mean, I like I like if that umpire doesn't give a guy a strike because he's being a jerk on the mound. I like that. Like, I'm going to show you there's a way to play this game. And that those umpires, think about back in the day. I mean, oh, this guy's behind the plate. Oh man, this is going to be great. Like right now, we have Angel Hernandez, and you watch that game because you want to see what the hell he's going to do. If Could you imagine an automated umpire with Angel Hernandez behind the plate? It would lose flair. It would not be fun. I know,
Yeah,
but
but maybe, just maybe, a pitcher wouldn't lose his no hitter because of a bad call at first base.
well, and that's why you have replay. And so I agree with that. I agree with the replay and check it. Man, that was that whole reason. But
Balls and strikes are balls and strikes, and it's supposed to be frustrating because that's the way it is. You know.
all right. Well, if it's low A, fine. Keep it down there. Get those going.
Yeah,
Don't
I
bring it
don't
into the
see
big
the.
leagues.
I really don't see the Players Association agreeing to any of these rules for the major leagues, but it'll be an interesting experiment to see what happens throughout the season.
Yeah. I could see the infield dirt. I could see the shift. Four guys. I could see that. I don't.
I could
I don't.
see I could see the two guys on each side of the base, but I don't see the four guys in the dirt going into Major League Baseball. I mean, if I'm playing second base or shortstop and I'm facing Manny Machado, I'm not playing in the
I'm,
dirt, even in my
no, I'm
normal
playing deeper.
position. Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna, yeah. So maybe, 6 feet out on the apron.
What you're going to see
So
is batting averages go up 10 to 15 points because of all the infield, all the ground balls that get through because you can't play on the grass anymore.
yeah. Well, Bryce Harper will be happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. So great talk on the cup check by Major League Baseball. Yes, they threw a major cup check on the minor leagues. But
So
now
bad.
I heard somebody here wanted to talk a little baseball superstitions to finish up the
Yeah,
podcast today.
superstitions. I wanted to get something that was more relative. Like, what do you do? What
Relevant
are
or
your superstitions?
relevant or relative?
Relevant.
Relative,
Relevant.
relative.
So the listeners, when they go, oh well, when I played,
Yeah.
I used to do this, and I got some funny stories because there were some that I would never just voluntarily do, but because I was successful, I kept doing it.
Like
Um,
jumping over the baseline.
yes, I always jumped from grass to grass. Like, it was great because my name's Hoppy. So I'd run out and bing, I'd jump over from grass to grass. Never touched the dirt on the baseline. Never touched chalk. Um, and when I would leave the field, if I was playing short and I got was on third base side, I always went over third base and jumped base to the grass. I was already on the dirt. If I was playing second base and the inning was over, then I would do that at first. just so I would never touch the chalk line and then the dirt over there. So that was one of those superstitions.
I saw a
Now,
pitcher superstition that was pretty insane one time that almost started a fight on the infield.
what was that?
So the inning ends and the pitcher's walking out to the mound and the infielder runs out and he sees the ball in the dirt and he picks it up and he flips it to the pitcher.
No,
And the pitcher freaked out because somebody touched his ball
don't touch my ball.
and almost started a fight on the mound because he didn't want
Mhm.
anybody touching the ball before he picked it up off the dirt.
Yeah, yeah. No, I get it. I get it.
But the same
Um,
pitcher was okay if you picked the ball up if it was in the grass.
okay, now we're getting specific, and that's okay.
That's
You
what
know,
superstition is, though,
if
right?
it works, if it
Right.
works, then do it. So I got a couple stories, and you talk about almost starting fights, right? So um, when I went out to Texas when I was playing at Hill, I always like to, they throw the ball down, and the second base, I always had the second baseman catch it, and he'd throw it to me at short, and then I would fire it to the third baseman, who would then give it to the pitcher, to start the inning. Well, I had a really good arm, so I'd get it and I'd fire it, right? And damn, third baseman, I'd blow up his glove, right? And one, it was for me to make sure that I was loose. I'm like, okay, I everybody, I got a cannon, right? Don't hit it to me, and making sure that I was loose every inning. So I had a backup in playing third, and so first inning, I wear him out. Second inning, third inning, fourth inning, whack, let it go. I start jogging back to shortstop, and all of a sudden, throws the ball back at me. I mean, I just whizzed right by my head, and it goes all the way to center field. I turn around, and he looks at me and he goes, "Stop throwing the ball so hard." Well, of course, what do I have to do? I get the ball to center field, I throw hop, just cannon, right? And I go, "That's what I do." He was the backup. He didn't know the drill, but he thought it was something personal because I would just wear him out every inning. But that's what I did, and it's just that's what I did. It's superstition. I had to do that. But the earliest one, um, which you were of, when I was on JV in high school, first game we had purple stirrups, right? Pinstripes and purple stirrups. And I go 0 for 4, right? So for some reason, game two, I'm in a hurry in the morning. So pack my bag, go to this, and then we get dressed for the game, and I have a purple stirrup and a navy blue stirrup, and I don't notice it. So I go like 3 for 4, So after the game, we're all hanging out, and somebody says, "Hoppy, what's up with the stirrup?" I go, "What are you talking about?" And I look down and realize I have a navy blue one and a purple one. I'm like, "Oh man!" They go, "You can't change them." I'm like, "What?" I wore a purple stirrup and a navy stirrup the next 12 games. I had a 12-game hidden streak, and we won all those ball games. 12-game winning streak. So here I am. I didn't want to, but I had to because we were winning and I was doing well. So I would be interested in knowing what our listeners think. What superstitions did you have when you were playing? Whether it was something you ate, whatever it is. I'll make sure you comment and like and share, and let's see how big we can make that go, because there's some great ones. There's
Yeah,
some
I
great ones.
I thought your superstition was going to be about calling "I got it" on the pitcher's mound when the first baseman was going to catch a fly ball.
Man, you had to bring that up. Okay,
But
go ahead. Go ahead. Tell
no,
me the
no,
story.
it's not
No,
your
go for it.
superstition. It's not your
Go
superstition.
for it.
But I have two quick superstitions I want to talk about. One of them, I was playing on the 4th of July in Martinsville, Virginia, and the bat boy handed out candy for some reason that day, and he put a Starburst in every single player's locker. Um, and that day I happened to see there was a pink starburst in my locker and I ate it. And I went out
Mm,
and I believe I went 3 for 4 with 2 doubles in front of like a packed house. And
Strawberries.
so
Hmm.
from then on, I asked the bat boy to give me a pink starburst every game.
Hmm.
And it's kind of stuck. And if you look at my desk, there's pink starburst on my desk. I
That's
don't I don't
awesome,
I
dude.
don't really eat them anymore, but I still have them. Non-product
Oh, dude,
placement.
that's great. That's great. Give it
Um,
up for the Bat Boy, man.
and then the other superstition that I had, and I don't really buy into the superstition thing, but every once in a while you're doing well and you're like, what was I? Oh, I might as well go with it. I was a first baseman at times, and you know how some catchers throw to first when a lefty strikes out, and some catchers throw to third when a righty strikes, or vice versa. When
Hmm.
righty strikes out, they like to throw the first. When lefty, they like to throw to third. So I had this
Right.
particular catcher that liked to do that. But
Hmm.
as a first baseman, I never wanted to touch the ball ever on a
No,
strikeout.
no, never.
So here comes the catcher. He catches it, called strike three, boom, flips it to first base. And I'm like, oh crap. And I jump out of the way and let the ball go to right field.
That's an infield superstition, is
Yeah.
that the firstman doesn't touch the ball
Yeah.
because he gets the ball all the time anyway. So no,
Right.
strikeouts, that's for everybody else.
So
They
so
go
when
it
when
around.
when you're throwing around the infield, the first baseman's never supposed to touch the ball. So I literally jumped out of the way and let the right fielder get it.
That's great.
And then he
That's
did it
great.
again, and I did it again. And I'm like, if I'm gonna keep doing it, if you keep throwing the ball to me, I'm gonna keep jumping out of the way.
Oh, that's awesome. That's
And
awesome.
and the catcher was Wags.
Oh god. Oh man, that's a whole nother story. Oh, that's great, man. That's great.
Yeah,
I'm not
so
touching it.
I'm not touching it. I don't care. It's not my ball to touch. I'm not touching it. Right fielder can get
Oh,
it.
that's good stuff, dude.
Yeah,
That's good stuff. I can't wait to read the comments too. That's going to be exciting.
yeah. It's gonna be good times. So
Yeah.
great podcast for St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah. St.
Some
Patty's Day.
wonderful drinks out in the
Yes.
world for
Right there.
those of
Product
you.
placement. Ooh.
I don't think you make money on that, but that's okay.
All right. On the DL.
Thanks everyone for listening to the podcast. We're going to get this
Yeah.
posted up and get you guys listening to it.
Mhm.
Just don't forget, we are on YouTube now. We have a YouTube channel. You can watch that on your smart TVs. We're on every podcast platform. We're ready to roll. Like,
Global.
share, subscribe.
You got it.
What time is it?
So, 9.
Yeah, we're doing the nighttime podcast this week.
Yeah, next podcast, St. Patty's. Hey, I guess it's time to sign off. That one, folks. We're out of here.
Woo. Ooh.